In this video, we're going to look at what the AFL could have looked like today had teams gone with some of their other proposed nicknames and identities. Starting off with Adelaide, who were originally committed to the name the Adelaide Sharks. There even is images you can find online of what the team logo and Guernseys would have looked like. The Sharks would have worn this Guernsey with their colours being blue, green and white. I actually like this jumper. It's got that traditional footy jumper look, but it's also unique so it stands out from the rest of the comp and incorporates part of the team's identity or location into the design. I definitely think the Adelaide Crows brand and colours is better, but this is still a good design that any team would look great in. Moving on to Brisbane now, and back when the team that would eventually become the Brisbane Bears were getting set to join the VFL, some consideration was apparently given to the idea of Richmond relocating to Brisbane to become the Brisbane Tigers, which seems crazy considering where Richmond are as a club today. I've come up with this Guernsey concept that combines the iconic yellow sash with the Brisbane Bears maroon. In reality, this team probably would have just kept their colours the same as Richmond's, similar to how South Melbourne didn't change their colours with the move to Sydney, but I think this is a cool kind of what-if concept. On to the other of the two merger teams in Fitzroy, who were at one point back in the day referred to as the Fitzroy Gorillas, which does suit the original colour scheme of their jumpers with the dark maroon, blue and white. Personally, I prefer the Lions branding and the classic red, gold and blue jumpers, but this is also a great design and the Gorillas would have been a fun identity for them to use. Next we go to Freo, who, in keeping with the nautical theme, were originally suggested the name the Fremantle Mariners. This Guernsey design was actually one that was considered by the club during the original development phase. It's a nice combination of the old school green with the modern purple and white chevron design. I honestly think this is a really great jumper, and if Freo had gone with this over the anchor, I reckon they'd still be wearing this design today. On to the youngest team in the league now, and one of the fan favourite proposed nicknames at the time was the Greater Western Sydney Wolves. I've come up with this Guernsey concept. In reality, GWS may not have changed their Guernseys too greatly, whether they were the Giants or the Wolves, but I do think that with a cool nickname like the Wolves, there's so much more you can do with both their Guernseys and their branding as a whole compared to just the big G. Up next is Port, and one of their proposed nicknames was the Port Adelaide Raiders. This was one design that was put forward as a potential candidate for their jumpers. I reckon this looks pretty good. It's a nice alternative of the Prison Bars jumper, and the colours of grey, black and white are not only unique in the AFL, as there really isn't a team that uses grey as their main colour, but it's also a bit closer to their original Port Magpies identity and colour scheme. Again, I prefer the power identity they chose and the use of teal in their colours, but this is another interesting what-if concept. So leave your thoughts in the comments below as always guys, and I'll see you next time.